Welcome to Death Talk Unscripted. Episode title is Rooted Ritual, the Old Ways We Shelved Death. Welcome, beloveds, to Death Talk Unscripted. I am Paula. I'm a death walker, a witness, and a companion in the liminal. Tonight, here with you all gathering, we're not going to try to fix death. We're not going to fear it. And we're not going to sanitize it. We're going to speak of it with honor and grace. When you say death, say it with resonance, with vibration, with passion. We gather to remember, to unshelve the sacred, to reclaim the old ways, the rooted rituals that once held death in dignity. Before systems decided death was something to beat, something to cheat, something to deny, but more importantly, something that should only be whispered in the shadows. It is considered taboo. This is not a history lesson. This is a soul retrieval. Before the systems, long before the white coats and legal forms, death was a rite of passage, a ceremony, a return. For me as a child, it was about elders being present, medicine men being gathered. There were peace pipes and prayers and chants. And when the elder who was dying spoke and whispered, "I am ready," we laid out rituals, we laid out ceremonies, and in turn, the medicine men, they gracefully and humbly gathered the medicines to give to the dying people. It was quick, it was easy, it was beautiful. The dying were not sedated into silence. They were sung home, bathed in rosewater, wrapped in shrouds woven by loving hands. This was the final act. Once the person has died, the next was they were sung home. They were drummed home, bathed in rosewater, wrapped in shroud, woven by loving hands. There was no fear of the body, the bioorganic suit, that the energy essence that made the human, the beloved, the wife, the father, the son, the grandmother, that essence, it was not fear of it. It's just simply shedding it and letting it go. It serves no more purpose. It holds no more value. In fact, it simply suffocates that energy essence spirit. No shame in the soul's departure. Death was not a failure. It was a sacred crossing. I'd like to say that again. Death was not a failure. It was a sacred crossing. It was communicated. It was easily brought into the conversation. It was listened and recognized. We held circle. We sat in sweat lodges. We spoke at our dinner tables, and we talked of how birth, life, and death, they're in a spiral. They are woven together and they dance a dance. And if there were none of them can survive without each other. The community gathered, the elders spoke, and the ancestors listened. What got shelved? Here's the part that kind of hits me right in between my eyes, for my third eye to pop open and really have to focus on being calm, non-judgmental, and just, well, here, you can listen to it. Then came the machine, the medical model, the legal mandates, and the religious dogma. Death became a battleground. It still is a battleground. I have so many people that battle not wanting to go to hospice. They battle not wanting to have voluntary stoppage of eating and drinking. They want quick, they want swift, pain-free deaths, like medical aid in dying, like euthanasia that you allow your animals to have, self-delivery. These are the conversations that we must now have. Death became a battleground, something to fight, to delay, and deny. We shelved the drum. We shelved the herbs. We shelved the moonlight vigils and the ancestral songs. We replaced ritual with protocol. We replaced ceremony with sedation. We replaced soul with system. And in doing so, we forgot how to grieve. We forgot how to honor. We forgot how to die. Dying on one's own terms. Let's move right into this. Dying on one's own terms, but some are remembering, and some are choosing to die on their own terms, choosing to step outside the machine. They say no to fluorescent lights, no to the endless interventions, no to the fear-based scripts, no to the hospice, whether it be in an institution or at home, no to the voluntary stoppage of eating and drinking. These, they claim, for many are barbaric. They choose the forest, the ocean, the sacred circle, and in these they find medical aid in dying. They find euthanasia. They find self-delivery. They choose to die in ceremony, with ritual, with sovereignty, with swiftness, and with as calmly and civility of releasing their vibrational cosmic energy. Some choose fasting. Some choose plant allies. Some choose to stop treatment and start preparing for the soul. This is not suicide. This is a sacred exit. This is informed autonomy, people. I don't know how to make it more. I don't know how to get it to be more important than just by saying these words, simply that This is not suicide. This is a sacred exit. Everybody needs to have a sacred exit. And if it means going against what the collective is going to recoil in, then that's what it's going to have to be. Because it's not the collective that's dying. It's the judgmentalness. It's the moralistic, I've got to tell people how they need to be. You don't. It's not your business. It's not your choice. This is an informed autonomy. Autonomy is so important. It is actually a precursor to freedom, freedom and death. This is the soul saying, I am ready. I choose to cross with intention. And yes, this goes against the grain. I know it goes against the system. I know it goes against the fear. I know it goes against the religious aspects in this country. And I absolutely know that it goes against a lot of family and friends who have ideas and concepts of how their people should die. But I remind them again when I say this, the only person that matters is the person who's dying. And if they have a death plan that you are not comfortable with, that you do not agree with, it is not your place to intervene and try to talk them out of it, or shame or guilt or gaslight or, any of that. It is simply their death plan. And if you can't help them with it, then stand back. And yes, it does. It goes against all the things that I just said. But it is not reckless. It is radical reverence. That's what I wanted to get to. This is radical reverence. It's time. It's past time. We're behind. We are behind time when it comes to death. Our population is so large. And do you know that a baby boomer dies every 14.5 seconds? And I'm sitting here watching my stopwatch right now, and oops, there goes one. Oops, there goes one. So it's important. It really, really is important. This is my call to action for me. Reclaiming the sacred. We are unshelving the sacred. We are remembering the old ways. We are crafting shrouds with intention, holding vigil with herbs and stones, speaking to the ancestors, mapping our death plans through our earth wheel medicine, listening to the soul. We are not here to beat death. We are here to meet it, to greet it, to walk it home with reverence. So I guess what I've been trying to say in this whole thing is pretty much we have taken death and we have put it in a box that makes it so terribly taboo, scary, sterile, and basically the most unappealing way that I personally could think of dying. And it just doesn't seem that there is enough options for the multiples of people that we have that are about to die. And I think that the collective getting into it and putting all their 2 cents in, and the medical community and everything, it truly has taken away from autonomy. It truly has taken away from freedom. It's taken away all the old ways, because everything now is written down, computerized. It has become such a point system, beep, systems, and if you're not signing something and you're not trying to go through the insurance company, it really just becomes anything but sacred, anything but ritual rooted. I'm sorry, it's getting late here. And we're not asking permission anymore. We're really not. The people that I talk to when they come to this, I always tell them, stop asking permission. Stop asking your family and your caregivers and your medical team and your religious pack. Stop asking for permission. You don't have to. It's your death. Do it your way. Even if that means they can't participate. And if that's too harsh, then hire a death doula. Hire a death walker. I promise you, they're really good at litigation and mitigation. They're also very good, at least I am very good, at making sure that everybody understands the most important person in the room is the dying person. Nobody is more important than that. Nobody's morals, values, or anything are more important than that one person that is about to leave the bioorganic suit that they were graciously given, and that spirit, essence, soul, whatever you want to call it, energy is about to rise, baby. Rise in all its glory, in all its magnificence. Can you imagine? Okay, so tonight I ask you, what rituals live in your bones? What sacred ways whisper beneath your skin? What did your ancestors do when the veil thinned? Unshelve them, dust them off, let them breathe again. Because death is not a failure. It is a ceremony, and you, beloved, are invited. Thank you for joining me on Death Talk Unscripted tonight. May your nights be full of remembering, your hands be ready for ritual, and may your heart walk gently with the dying. Until next time, walk sacred.